Hello there, it's Umo Akinshaluwe here, one of your counselors from Bridge Clinic. As you probably already know, we are in the season of our 25th year anniversary, and in that celebration mode, we are telling our stories. We have a lineup of some of our clients who have had treatment with us from a very long time ago and from even recently. So we'll be speaking with some of them. They'll be telling us their fertility journey, their fertility stories, in line with our theme of celebration, which is conceiving joy for 25 years. And today it is my pleasure to introduce you to one of our clients who is a more recent one. Mrs. Onome Hawa, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your presence here today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being a part of our success story. I'll start by asking, how did you get to know about Bridge Clinic in the first place?
I was referred
By
a doctor.
a doctor
Yes.
who happens to be a family friend?
No. I went for treatment.
Okay.
Along the line, I told him I was ready to do IVF. They don't do it there.
All right.
He said I should go to Bridge. I talked about there are two popular ones that I know. He said I should not go there, that I should go to Bridge. And a cousin of mine too did it here, and it was successful.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, I'd like to know from you, for how long had you been trying to have a baby? You know, for how long had you waited? And, you know, what was happening, before you got to meet the doctor that referred you to Bridge Clinic?
I got married 2011.
Okay.
And 2 months before my wedding, I started making efforts
Okay.
to conceive. So 6 months after the wedding, when it was not forthcoming, we started doing several checkups. They told us to wait for a year before we can. That after making effort for like a year and there's no positive results, then we can seek assistance, external assistance. But still, I was like, no. So
You didn't want to wait for a year?
I didn't want to wait for a year. I didn't want to wait for a year.
So is that when you took steps to go to the hospital where you met the doctor that referred you?
No, that was not when I met the doctor. Before then, we tried several other places. They said it was fibroid that was causing the infertility. So they said I had to remove the fibroid. You know the phobia that, why would they remove fibroid? They will cut me open. That means if I end up having children, it will be through CS. No, I don't want fibroid. I started taking herbs.
Right. For how long were you taking these herbs?
I took the herbs for 4 years.
Wow. So for 4 good years,
Yes.
you were on herbal,
Yes.
remedies.
Yes.
And am I to conclude that there was no positive result, or was there?
There was no positive result.
Oh.
So I had to go back to the hospital to remove the fibroid.
So the first instance was you have uterine fibroids that needs to be removed.
Yes.
You need to go undergo a surgery.
Yes.
And you were reluctant, of course, because you had the phobia for it.
Yes.
Naturally, and then you thought to yourself, I better go on herbal remedies.
Yes.
And for 1 year, 2 years,
Yes.
3 years,
Yes.
and 4 years, then we went back to the original plan of having. Can I just ask, were you on one particular herbal, or did you go to different centers? Just tell us about it.
Different centers from relatives to my mother. I took several herbs.
Okay. And you know what is interesting is I've heard a lot of women say to me the same thing you just said. A lot of women have said to me, there's a woman that has actually spent over, yours is 4 years, hers is almost 10 years.
Mine too is more than 4 years. That's just the beginning.
She had been on all manner of herbal remedies. And at a stage, she stopped and gave herself a break. You know, sometimes you just want to give yourself a break. And then she's inspired again to think maybe she hears a success story. And she told me more recent times on the internet, she was getting a lot of all this shrink fibroid naturally.
Yes.
You know, shrink fibroid, so things like that. She decided to jump on board and she'll go on. They said the particular one that disappointed, I think that was, the straw that broke the camel's back. So that particular one, they said it's a very organized place. We're not talking about any funny setup here. Proper setup. And she went there, they made a scan. So like before, they made a scan image for her of how we are now. With the hope or plan of when this fibroid is gone, another scan. Okay, so like a before and after kind of thing. So she really, really had hope in that particular one that, wow, that was the first time they were going to do something like before and after for her. So she thought, this is it. I'm sure this is going to be the final solution. And she said to me, these things is not like we're talking about cheap here, that she spent millions in all of this. So she went ahead to start their program. After 6 months of all manner of consumption, a scan was done. Said it has not even shrunk. I mean, it was so negligible. She said she was so disappointed, she was so unhappy, and she just gave up. And decided, well, I'm just going to think of my options. But she was done with the herbal stuff. That was it for her. But she had been on it for many years just because she didn't want to. And for her, actually, she knew somebody that had a bad outcome from, a fatal outcome actually, from having that. So that really put that fear in her and made her to patronize the herbal industry for that many years. And with all that time going, her ovarian reserve is also reducing, but, we're able to salvage things at the point in time that she came in. So fast forward, you spent all that time on the herbal remedies and then you went ahead to have your surgery done.
Yes.
So what happened after that?
After the surgery, they said to prevent the fibroid from growing, the fibroid will grow back. Okay. If it is not herbal. If it is true surgery, they said it's going to grow back. That the only way to prevent it from growing back, to kill the roots, is to take herbal. So I started the herbal again for 2 years.
Can I ask, who said this? Was it at the hospital when you had the surgery done?
No.
There you go. Go ahead, please.
So I started the herbal for 2 years again. Pregnancy was not forthcoming. We went back to the hospital. I realized something was growing in my tummy again. So we went back to the hospital. I was asked to do a scan. And fibroid was there again.
So in spite of the herbal, fibroid was still growing.
Yes.
So the herbal in the first place was to forestall the regrowth.
Yes.
So the same herbal remedies that didn't even shrink the fibroids couldn't also prevent a regrowth of uterine fibroids. So where did you go from there?
At that point, okay, when we discovered that the fibroid has we started using another hospital and they said we have to remove it again. I was like, no, again. So after a lot of persuasion from my husband, family, it's not everybody that knows my family. Even my mother was unaware. Our own is to just bring herbs from the village. They said if you use this one, you are going to be pregnant. If you use this one today, make sure your husband see you today. Oh. All to no avail. So we had to go back to go and do the surgery again.
For the second time?
The second time. After the surgery, the second time, we waited, we started making efforts. We did, while doing that, they checked my husband if he was okay. So after the second surgery, we started making effort, took different fertility supplements. Just to, still it was not forthcoming. So I went to a general hospital. They started giving me that you've done fibroid 2 times, you have done this, it's not forthcoming. If you want to, I said I wanted IVF. They said even if you want IVF, it's going to be surrogacy. They gave me different conditions that is not even possible. Okay, so inside the general hospital, somebody now referred me to another fertility center.
When you say inside, was it a doctor there
No.
or a patient you met?
No,
or
a patient, a staff.
A staff, okay.
Yes. Referred me to a fertility clinic. So from that fertility clinic was where I had Edway.
Okay. So what happened there?
There, they said they will put, what's the name of this thing? Hysteroscopy. That they will put a camera into my womb to check what is there. They said different things. We went through the process as usual. So he placed, after the procedure, he said he has to remove that this womb can never be the way it is, that the surface is not smooth, that he needs to scrape it. So he did all those things. Then he placed me on fertility drugs, medication that she used for, is this 3 to 6 months? That if I was not able to conceive, that means I will have to opt in for IVF. So I used the fertility drug for going to 5 months. He said I should go to Bridge for IVF.
Okay. So that was the doctor that eventually referred you to Bridge Clinic?
Yes.
Wow, you've had quite a journey before coming to us.
I have.
So when you eventually came to Bridge Clinic, tell us about your experience.
My experience, how do I describe it? It was wonderful, but along the line, I got fed up because it was taking like forever. So it got to a point that I had to fight the doctor that was like, did you see something that you are not telling me? Is it that you see that this thing is not going to be possible and you are taking this time? Because if you come today, you will tell me take this, go for this, do this. So I was fed up. The doctor and the nurse that were assigned to me, I would not leave them with calls. At times they won't pick. It's not as if they will intentionally ignore my call. Probably they will be busy when I am calling, so they may forget to call back to acknowledge the call. So if I come back, even without the appointment, I will come and challenge them. But what happened? Why would I call you and you do? I'm paying you now. What is it? Did you see something that is not going to work and you're not telling me and you're not dribbling me? You were like, no. Even with all that, they were wonderful people.
I'm glad. So eventually we had the treatment done.
Yes.
So after all said and done, eventually. But by the way, this time you spent in Bridge Clinic, how long was it?
Let me see.
From the time you sort of first came?
8 months.
8 months?
Yes.
It's sounding like 8 years. All right. So a lot of intervention had to come in,
yes.
Because of course all that was necessary for us to eventually achieve the desirable result that we're looking for.
Yes.
And so when we had the treatment, what was the outcome? Now we can laugh.
A positive outcome, something I had waited for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years.
So after a 12-year waiting period, what did you get?
Positive result.
That resulted in
pregnancy, 2 bouncing baby boys.
Whoa! So 12 years, we just took out the one and you got 2 bouncing baby boys. That is wonderful. And how are they?
They are fine.
They are fine.
Very fine.
And of course, normal.
Normal.
Like what, like how it should be.
Yes.
Absolutely. How old are they now?
Yeah, are 4.5 months.
4.5 months old babies that are. Did you come with them?
Yes,
I believe so.
Yes.
All right. Can they join us?
Yes, they
Is that
can.
all right?
Yes.
All right, please. Let's have them join us.
All right.
Wow. Now we have the babies and I'm holding one right here in my arms. What a joy. Mrs. Hawa,
Yes, ma'am.
what did the arrival of these babies do for you and your family?
They changed everything about me.
Change your life.
Changed my life. They changed my life. They changed my name, my status. They changed everything about me to positive. Yes.
Wow. That's wonderful. And your whole family, I mean your mom, I'm sure your mom was thinking, oh, my herbal remedies. You see the outcome?
No. At a point, because I told her to stop bringing.
Okay.
I won't even pick her call when she won't stop disturbing me or sending herbs or telling me one Alpha wants to pray for me. They collected our money, time, everything. So I stopped her from bringing those things. So even while I was pregnant, I didn't tell her until I delivered. My sister just called her. Your daughter has given birth. She was like, which daughter? How many daughters do you have? You have 2 now. And me, I was not pregnant. The other, she was in the family house. She removed her clothes, rolled on the floor.
Oh, wow. Wow.
She was happy. The following day she came.
Oh, wow.
And she's still with me.
Oh, wow. May God bless our mothers.
Amen.
May God bless our mothers.
Amen.
Because, you know, they are on our side. That's the truth. What they do might not be the right thing because that is just based on the knowledge that they have.
Yeah.
But I know they mean well. I know they mean well. May God bless our mothers.
Amen.
And may God bless our beautiful, beautiful babies. Tell us their names.
They are named Hayan, Zion. Should I give you more names?
More names, yes.
Taiwo Koinde.
Sure.
Ogenekebe, Tejiri, Ogenekebe.
Wow.
Hazan Uzain, Faith,
Wow.
Favor. We have a lot of names.
A lot of names. They are so beautiful, so gorgeous. May God bless them. I know that they will surely have a bright future ahead. The kind of joy that they brought to you and your family. Look at that smile. Just look at that smile. He said, I'm surely going to carry on doing this, putting smiles on your faces.
Amen.
Everybody that comes in contact